There are some roads you walk alone, but only you can travel. Be not afraid, the storms will pass. Take courage, darkness
Good morning, folks. Welcome to a sunny, hot, another sunny, hot day in north central Texas. Yeah. The average temperatures over the last couple of 3 months have been high 90s, 100, 105, 108. Damn. So, um, if my voice sounds a little scratchy this morning, my eyes seem a little swollen. Yes, I've taken my allergy meds and my happy little breathers, but yeah. Got the grass cut yesterday and the sewer sprinklers out in the backyard. We got those fixed, so good productive day yesterday. Thank you for watching Open Pagan Church, where you don't have to be pagan to join in the conversation. Your opinions are respected, appreciated, wanted, as long as they're respectful. Luckily, we've been very fortunate over the years. Um, the years that I've been doing Open Pagan Church, and even prior when we did Sunday meetings out on property, we've always been very fortunate. We haven't had any hecklers. Hecklers? Is that the word? Anyway, we haven't had anybody flaming in chat, so we've been very fortunate. Like I said at the top, if you're posting and you're chatting, please do during the live feed. Facebook has gotten to where it just doesn't auto scroll. So you'll see me every once in a while glance over and scroll it so I can see what's going on. If you're watching on YouTube, please click like and subscribe and click the bell so you get notified when the fuzzy one is online. Who knows, we may have a topic that you want to hear, post to. And something else I posted in the House of Pagans group page. Most of our watchers are in the evening in other countries, and I would like to figure out a way on Open Pagan Church on Sundays. I'd like to figure out a way that we can have guest speakers. Someone that can come on, maybe do a live video feed, split the screen, and have visitors on. Maybe someone who can come on at the same time we are and maybe have a interactive conversation and get some other thoughts and ideas from other pagan philosophies out there. Excuse me. After all, I know I'm not that much stuck on myself. I'm not the only pagan minister out there. I'd like to hear from more of you, those of you that watch our broadcast. Our topic. What is our topic this morning? Losing self. Yeah, losing self. We all do it. We're human. I do it. You do it. Everybody does it. What is losing self? Well, some people may go down the road of they've completely lost everything and lost themselves and have nothing and all of that. That's not where I'm going with this. If you read the intro, it talks about, have you forgotten sabbaths? Pagans, we have sabbaths roughly about every 3 months. One kind or another. Pagans are partying folk. We look for a reason to party. I don't mean party as in getting drunk or toking up or anything like that. I'm talking about just getting together, barbecuing, having a good circle, raising energy, saying thank you to deity, whatever deity you follow. But we lose ourselves. We lose track of what we're doing. We find ourselves getting so wrapped up in day to day chaos, trying to pay the bills, trying to find jobs or get jobs or keep jobs so that we can pay our bills, taking care of family. We've, you know, those of you that have no family that you have to take care of, that's a good thing and a bad thing. I get it. Those of us that are tight knit families, my wife and I are living with my parents now to kind of help take care of them. We help each other out. They help us. We help them. But through the chaos of maintaining a house, taking care of the cars, keeping vehicles up so that we can get back and forth to work, those of you that live in areas where you don't have to purchase transportation, that you can use local transportation, buses, trains, what have you, taxis, and all that. I have a 40-minute to 1 hour commute to work. I don't think I could afford a taxi to get me back and forth to work. We did look into local transit. I would take my vehicle to the local train station, park it in the morning, take the train to work. Take the train close to work, catch the bus, and get over to work. Problem, that was going to cost 15% more per month than what it cost me to drive. And it was going to take me 2 hours every day just to get to work and 2 hours to get home. In the morning, I make it to work in 30 to 45 minutes, and in the evening, I make it home in 45 minutes to an hour with traffic. It's real easy to lose yourself in all of the chaos. We have a friend of ours trying to buy a house right now, and all wrapped up in that chaos, trying to get things balanced and get things leveled out. We have another friend of ours that's trying to sell their home and get all wrapped up so that they can get moved out, and all of that chaos gets wound up, and you begin to wind yourself up in a really tight little string until you just really have no idea which ends up, where you're going, what the hell you're going to do when you get there. It really makes it tough when you're trying to just take care of day-to-day life and it just gets all screwed up. You get in these ruts, and I am the world's worst about getting into a rut. I'm a relatively very predictable individual. I've started going to bed roughly about 9 p.m. every night. I get up in the morning at 4:15. I either eat breakfast at home or I get breakfast on the way to work. But I'm out of the house by 4:30, quarter to 5. I get to work. First thing I do is set my stuff down, plug in my work laptop, turn it on, go make coffee, go back to my desk, log on, start things to booting up, log onto my laptop, log onto my PC, make sure all of my monitors are working, make sure my phone is working, go to the bathroom, take care of business, come back, fix the coffee, sit back at my desk, watch the news, play a bit of Forge of Empires, and get on the phone. 4 o'clock, I get off of work, gather up all my stuff, go to my truck, go home, sit, and breathe. And everything else in between is a crapshoot. All of these plans and things I wanted to do outside when I got home, 98 degrees, not happening. Or after 8+ hours of beat down on the phone all day, the only thing I want to do is take my hearing aids out, unplug the headset, and do nothing. Let the brain rest. Losing yourself in amongst the chaos. Those of you that don't have jobs, that have other responsibilities. Maybe you're a caregiver of a family member. Maybe you used to be a caregiver of a family member, but not anymore, so you've lost that thing to do. Maybe you've worked your whole life, and all of a sudden you find yourself no longer able to work. That's a real easy way to lose yourself, because you sit all day, most of the time, and your brain works on you constantly. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. We need to get this done. We need to get that done. I've got to go over here and pay that bill. I've got to go over here. Hell, I can't pay that bill. What am I going to do with this? This is broke. I need to fix it. I don't have time. Well, sure you have time. All you're doing is sitting there winding yourself up. Well, I don't have the energy. Well, I get that one. I don't have energy either anymore. I used to be full of piss and vinegar and could do anything I wanted to anytime I wanted to, but not anymore. Then you got this crazy old bearded one sitting on the microphone talking too fast for you to even pay any attention to, because your mind is elsewhere, doing other things. And you're winding yourself up over things that you should be doing, that you can't be doing, that you might want to do, that there's no way you can do, because you've already convinced yourself you can't do it, and therefore here we go. You have completely tossed yourself in the meat grinder and flipped it on to hell with it. Any of that sound familiar? If any of that sounds familiar to you, it's because you're human. We have a very wonderful brain. We have a wonderful thing called a brain. Most of us, most of us have a conscience. Most of us worry about things that we either should be doing but can't, can be doing but don't have the energy, want to do but live in chronic pain, or there is so much to do, the list has exploded beyond any point of return, that we just simply take the list and throw it in the air and say to hell with it. What do you do? What do you do when life itself has gotten so compiled with so many different boxes of things that need to be done? And if you consider each job a box, okay? Now, you know I hate cubicle thinking, but there's a difference between cubicalized thinking and compartmentalizing, okay? Each job is a box. Each responsibility is a box. Paying bills, that's, well, big box, right? Cleaning house, that's a box. Doing laundry, a box. Doing dishes, a box. Maintaining automobiles so that you have transportation, that's another big box. A lot of people don't realize how big the box an automobile is. House maintenance. If you own your own home, or even if you rent your own home, you still have house maintenance. You have to make sure that things are straight and neat and orderly. Our home needs to be leveled. I got a quote yesterday, $2,500. It's not bad for what the kid's going to do. It's not bad at all. But still, $2,500. Now, mind you, the structural integrity of this 2,500 square foot home is going to hell in a handbasket, because it is so unlevel that some parts of the floor tilt one direction and some parts of the floor tilt the other direction, and almost every door in the house, and this house has a lot of doors, almost every door in the house either won't close correctly, or has to be adjusted all year round because of hydrolysis in the foundation. And every time it rains, the house moves, and when it dries out, the house moves. So crapping that $2,500 is going to be worse than constipation. But we'll figure it out. But it's another one of those boxes, right, that I'm talking about. It's a box. Just a box. Compartmentalize. It's easy to lose yourself in what's going on around you. Okay? It's easy to become confused with what needs to be done next. And it's real easy to become so focused, so needle point focused on one thing, that everything else doesn't get done. Michelle says, step back and prioritize. Yes. Cindy says, one more box. Yep. What I just do. Take a deep breath. Stretch it out. Bring it all down. Bring down everything that you have that needs to be done. Either type it into a spreadsheet. If you don't know how to do a spreadsheet, type it in a document. If you're one that wants a piece of paper that you can actually physically touch, look at, I get it. Draw 3 lines. Right? Now, follow me here because this is just an idea. Put 3 lines on that paper. And those 3 lines will form 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sections. Brain fart. It'll frame 4 sections. In the first section, put responsibility. The word responsibility. Now, this is not only things that you need to pay, but things that you need to do. Because the things that have to be paid, they're a to-do. You have to do it. So don't worry about the amount. Yeah, rhetorical statement, but don't worry about the amount yet. Jimmy says, we have to accept that we can only do so much and not judge ourselves as failures when we don't get it done. I like that. It's a good idea. I like it. Good luck doing that. Some people can. I'm not one of those people. I tell people all the time, you can only do so much. You're only human. You can only do so much. And I turn around and I walk away and my brain starts beating on me because of the things that I'm not getting done. So here's the reason I recommend compartmentalization. Not cubicalism, not stuffing it until you forget it, but compartmentalizing the things that have to be done. Like was said, prioritize. But you first have to get it all down. Some people don't have a whole lot of responsibilities. Some people, the couple of responsibilities that they have are overwhelming because they're so big. Some of us would say, what kind of responsibility can you have that is so big you can't deal with it? Caregiver. 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, non-stop family caregiver. That is a great big box. Trying to maintain a home. Now, the term maintaining a home has a million variables within it. Leveling the home. changing light bulbs, painting, cleaning, having to replace a roof. Oh my God, that is a killer in money. So back to my idea of compartmentalization. Compartmentalization is prioritizing every single solitary responsibility that you have that has to be done. What I do is when I compartmentalize, I take the quick jobs, jobs that can be done in a couple of hours or a couple of minutes, right? Cleaning the kitchen is something that has to be done every day. Most don't do it, but it has to be done every day. Washing clothes. Well, that can, some people wash clothes every day. Me, I stagger my clothes out and rotate my clothes so that I can wash clothes every 2 weeks. Some people wash clothes every week. But it's something that has to be done, otherwise your clothes are going to begin to be a little rank. But it has to be done. Vehicle maintenance has to be done. Some of it is quick, cleaning out the interior, driving it through a car wash, then getting it in, getting the oil changed. New tires are always a killer. We just had to put tires on the Jeep, and we're fixing to have to put tires on the Tahoe. Yeah. But the quick jobs, like yesterday, the grass had to be cut because of other things. I hadn't been able to cut the grass in almost 3 weeks. It rained. We had other responsibilities that had to be done on the weekend. So I got out at 5:30 yesterday with my little headlight on my little riding mower, and I set out and cut grass. It took 2.5 hours, 3, to cut this 2 acres we have. Some of it was a beatdown. But after cutting grass, I knew that the water sprinklers for the sewer system had to be fixed. They've been just open pieces of pipe for over a year. And it really makes cutting that area hard because sewer sprinklers, they just work. They get rid of the water that's left over from the sewage. And if it's not sprinkled out in a spray and spread out through the yard, the grass that's around them is heavily fortified and fertilized. Almost impossible even for a 60-inch John Deere to cut. So we went ahead and bit the bullet, spent the $100 and something for the sprinklers and the material to fix them. Well, they're fixed now. That's done. Took us an hour and a half. But see, that was one of those compartmentalized jobs that it's done. Over with. So I can throw that box away. Right? That's one of my boxes I can throw away. The grass is cut. Well, cutting grass is a box that always has to be done. It is seasonal, right? It needs to actually be done once a week to stay on top of it. So that box never gets thrown away. That box is emptied. Well, that box is now emptied for another week or 2 weeks, depending on how much sun and rain we get. But the box is empty. Put back on the shelf. Don't have to worry about that one. Sprinklers, done. Threw that box away. So you see where I'm talking about. Some people may wonder if this is a conversation about time management, handling stress. What do I do with anxieties? How do I fix all this crap? How do I keep from losing myself when it comes to day stress? Well, see, therein lies the master major variables. Yes, Cindy says cutting grass relaxes her. Absolutely, it does me too. Now, she likes to, I think she says she likes to listen to music while she cuts grass. I can't. I can't hear the music over the mower. But I have always liked to get out on a riding mower, cut the grass, and that couple hours that I'm out there gives me time to relax, kind of let my mind go because my focus is on the grass and what's going on, so it shuts down the forward mind and allows the spirit just to run out and play for a bit. I don't have to worry about anything. So herein lies the thing. Back to that uh, prioritizing I was talking about. Back to that compartmentalizing I was suggesting. If you take everything that has to be done and you mentally put it in a box, or if you have to see it on paper, you write it down on paper. Now, folks, when you're writing this stuff down on paper, don't let the fact that you're writing it down or putting it in a spreadsheet, don't let what you're seeing overwhelm you, because it will. Just take a deep breath and just go ahead and brain dump it onto a Word document or a spreadsheet, or write it down, whatever you like. Get it all out in the open, so to speak. And the cool thing with doing it on a spreadsheet or on a Word document is you can cut a line and move it up or down and paste it where you need it within priorities, right? Can't really do that on a piece of paper without wadding up a piece of paper and throwing it away, and that's kind of like throwing away a tree. So save a tree, use a computer. Just a thought. But on a spreadsheet, I can move rows and columns around and prioritize things that need to be done. Now, honestly, in all honesty, I'm not going to sit down to a spreadsheet and type all of this out. Those of you that need to visualize it and see it, that's the reason I put that idea out there. I prioritize in my mind. I can compartmentalize things in my own mind of things that are priority that needs to be done. Now, here's the way this works. To keep me from losing myself in my own chaos, it still happens, of course. But the way I keep from completely losing my mind and going batshit crazy is I take that compartmentalized idea and it floats on a scale. All right. If you can imagine, right, let's see if this works. All right. So we're going to pretend that this is a priority scale, right? And we have a slide that goes up. You got my back scratcher. All right. We have a slide that goes up and down that scale. And each compartmentalized box resides either at the top or at the bottom. There's the bottom of what needs to be done. Now, my brain can take these things and compartmentalize them, and so can yours with a little training. But you can compartmentalize responsibilities, and they slide up and down the scale in accordance to importance. Right? Now, let's take an example, right? We have scaled down to 368 square foot in our part of the house. Okay? One of the things that we need to do is we need to build a wall, build a kitchen on that wall, a doorway into the bedroom that separates the quote living area from the bedroom from the bathroom. Okay? Right now we have a makeshift kitchen set up where we use the bathroom sinks to do dishes and what have you. Well, that becomes a bit of a problem when you have to pate and the dishes are being done. Right. So the wall in the kitchen is a very important thing, is it not? You would think. Well, automobiles had to have tires replaced. That sucker slid way down. Replaced the tires, got one of the automobiles done, got the new roof on the Jeep, and the wall is still riding, right about, what is that, 7? Yeah, right about 7 on the importance scale, right? Kind of bouncing around. Well, so we got that done. It comes back up. I start thinking about it again, designing it, and the Tahoe now needs shocks and tires and a front end alignment. Well, here we go, right on back down to about 9 on the scale for this wall. Okay, we will get that done. We've not done the Tahoe yet, but that's coming up. Oh, by the way, I have a monthly truck note that has to be done, just over $400. That has to be paid every month. So the truck note, let's see if I can do this without shaking too much. That truck note rides way up here above the top of the scale. That truck note is every month, nothing else gets paid, it gets paid. So you kind of see what I'm saying with the importance scale and compartmentalization of ideas. Now, I'm not going to try to tell you how to live your life. I'm not telling you, you need to get an apartmentalization scale and let that thing move up and down. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you how I do it. And in amongst all of that, I still manage to keep up with what Sabbath it is. I manage to keep up with birthdays, anniversaries, my daughter's things at school, meet the teacher, projects, things that need to be done on a high scale basis. Now, meet the teacher and things that goes on in my daughter's school is up above the truck note, folks. That's like right up above her school education is high above any other priority out there. And yet I still manage to keep up with sabbaths. How do I do that? How do I keep up with school schedules, work schedules, meetings at work, and things that have to be done at work for work, Sabbaths, what Sabbath does what, when it is, and what the meaning of it is. I can answer that question in one word. Anybody out there? Everybody awake? One word. Calendar. 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 Calendar synced with phone, synced with email, synced with work, synced with work's calendar, synced across the board with everything. Calendar. When you have something that's coming up that is a compartmentalized box, maybe it's one of those little boxes that's going to be tossed once it's used, like meet the teacher. We had meet the teacher last week, last week, I think, or week. Anyway, we had meet the teacher. It was on the calendar. The day before, it reminded me, and the day of, it reminded me. I have it set up that way. Here's another one. Daily alarms. No, I didn't want to wake you up. Go away. Daily alarms. I have a multi-sequence alarm app on my phone that in the morning at 5 minutes till 7, the alarm goes off and the text reads, clock in. At dead up 7 a.m., the text reads, log on the queue. You're going to love this. At 5 minutes till 11 a.m. every day, an alarm sounds that says, lunch. At 11:45, alarm sounds that says, wake up from lunch nap, get ready to go back to work. And then at 12, it says, clock in and log on the queue. Now you're going to think I'm crazy. Yes, set your calendar, set an alarm for taking your meds. Meds are the number one things that human beings get lost, right? You get wrapped up in your own life, you get lost, you lose yourself in what's going on, and you forget to take your stupid meds, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, shit. And for some meds, right, some meds prescribed by doctors have to be taken at a specific time of day in a specific way, with food, with milk, without milk, um, whatever. Set your alarm. It's worth it. My calendar reminds me of the Sabbaths, what day they are, when they're happening, um, even the deeper meaning of the Sabbath to kind of help me be able to stop and meditate and think about it. Those of you that do full moon rituals, put it on your calendar. I mean, even earlier 2000s when we were uh, doing Sabbath on property, we went from doing them the weekend of the Sabbath to actually doing them the day of the Sabbath. And we would do something on the weekend. But as shaman, right, as shaman, now granted I'm a pagan minister, but my path is shamanism for those of you that don't know. Our grove decided to actually do the Sabbath on the day of the Sabbath. And that's very important to us. So we synced our calendars. We set our calendars to remind us of the upcoming Sabbath. So here's in short some ideas. In the last 15 minutes of our broadcast for today, I want to compartmentalize some ideas for you to keep you, to help you stop losing yourself and help you stop losing what's going on around you so that you can feel better about your life. And you may think I'm crazy. I am, but that's beside the point. I like crazy. It's fun. One, smoke less, vape more. No, just kidding. Well, not really, but yeah. No. Step one, breathe. Stop. Remember my number one catchphrase for temper, for abuse, for anxieties. Stop. Stop that momentum. Stop that destructive momentum that's causing issues to begin with. Remember to breathe. Just a nice, smooth, easy, deep breath when you find yourself getting wound up, getting into a panic attack, going into a full blown anxiety attack, and just completely going willy nilly all over the place and get, you know. And sometimes it really actually helps to do that. Sometimes when stress gets too much at work, my guys have actually started using this because it works. You sit at your desk. Well, I'm sorry. You stand up at your desk, right? And you very quietly, because you don't want to scream because other people are on the phone, and you go. It helps get rid of the momentary stress so that you can think. So, compartmentalize. Compartmentalization is a wonderful way to go. Once you have all of these things in boxes, then you need to figure out some kind of sliding scale of importance of those boxes. And each one of those boxes are labeled with a bright green, yellow, purple, whatever you like. And each one of those boxes is a responsibility. Whether it's paying a bill, cleaning the house, leveling the house, vehicle maintenance, cutting the grass, replacing sprinklers, sweeping the floor, doing the laundry. working, taking care of family, compartmentalize, and make a plan. And some of you may say, I can't make plans. They always go to hell in a handbasket. That's okay. Make a plan of action. Make a plan of attack, of attacking a major box, right? Our biggest box right now is getting this house leveled so that we can get its structural integrity back under control. That's a $2,500 box. That is a monster ass box. But it is a very high priority box that we're going to have to try to figure out a way to get the money together for. But I know that's not going to happen today, tomorrow, next week, or next month. I know this. I'm a realist. I get it. But it's still a big box and it's still high on the priority. But it has to move, right? It has to be able to scale. So compartmentalize your responsibilities. Compartmentalize the things that need to be done. And be mindful of life. So the ideas we have is compartmentalize, use a sliding scale, put all of your responsibilities down on a Word document or a spreadsheet or something so you can look at them and slide them around. Make a plan of attack, irregardless of whether or not that plan, something comes up that the plan goes to hell in a handbasket. That's life. It happens. Okay. But if nothing else, don't lose track of what's important. Yes, all of these responsibilities are important. But if you lose yourself, if you lose touch with self and you have allowed life to become so overwhelming with responsibilities that you're not getting anything done at all because you are so overwhelmed with what needs to be done, then how are you ever going to get anything done to begin with if you have lost touch with self? Because you lose touch with self, you lose touch with deity, you lose touch with Mother Earth, you lose touch with family. You become so overwhelmed that nothing gets accomplished. The only thing that gets accomplished is one gives up completely. You give up, you sit on your butt all day, you watch TV, you say to hell with it. You find yourself completely immersed in something, I don't know, like Facebook, Twitter, web pages, browsing the internet, anything in the world, playing video games, anything in the world, but facing responsibility and things that have to be done. You will lose yourself to the point where you just almost can't find it. So with that, there's no one answer. There's no one theory. But most important, folks, don't lose track of yourself. Compartmentalize your responsibilities and things that need to be done. Build you some kind of sliding scale of priorities, what's important, what's not, what needs to be handled right this minute, and then get off your ass and handle it. Yes, I hurt. Yes, I don't feel good. Yes, I don't have the energy. Yes, some days I have really real trouble breathing and even rubbing two pennies together and coming up with a thought. But I know in my heart of hearts, things have to be done. Things have to get done. And if I have to do them slower, okay. If I have to not get as much accomplished in one day, okay. Take a deep breath. Stop negative momentum. Get a grip on yourself and what's going on around you. Slow down just a bit because running balls to the walls with no thought processes, you're going to end up hurting yourself and those around you. This affects pagans, non pagans, non religious, and folks and humans around the world. I hope our broadcast today has helped you a bit. I look forward to your comments. And if you've got other topics that you want to talk about or that you want to cover, send me a PM, an IM, a message, an email, a something, and I'll look forward from hearing from you. Thank you for watching Open Pagan Church. We hope to see you next week here with another thought-provoking topic. Have a great day and a wonderful week.